Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Prephan. I'm a guide with Guidely. Thank you so much for being here. I attended the Gabby Bernstein event uh, 2 days ago, and it was just very special and enlightening. And I love the tools that she brought in. So our time together is simply deepening the tools that she shared, and I'll bring in another exercise or two. And then if time allows and anybody would like to uh, discover or deepen into either a practice or their feelings or uncovering what it is that they may be going through, we can work through that gently and lightly in this session as well, time permitting, of course. I'll just give everybody a moment or two just to get settled and grab a glass of water. I prefer everyone to have a pen and paper. So let me change my screen so I can see everyone. Perfect. So I'm about deepening the work through writing, and everything that I do, I always have a pen and paper nearby so that we can easily jot down emotions or anything that came to us in an exercise or something that we're experiencing. Well, revisiting the session with Gabby, she really shared a little bit about her personal life, as well as these exercises and tools that really helped her during a period of time in her life uh, when she actually didn't see any other outlet or way. She had, addiction issues in her life and suffered from postpartum depression and depression and anxiety. And that's something that I really identified with because I went through a period of time in my life where I experienced postpartum depression, but I didn't have the bandwidth or know-how at that period of time to even know that I was going through that. So it was something that I was experiencing, this deep, deep despair. And I had no idea where to go from it. And it didn't make any sense to me either because I was, it should have been the happiest time of my life, right? I was a mother and experiencing a new baby, and I was experiencing everything but the joy of having a child. So had I had these tools at that point in my life to implement, it would have enabled me to experience more joy and peace and relaxation in my experience as a new mom. So that was something that I really identified to Gabby with. And I know that she found sobriety at 25. And, when we lean into these aspects of, if you will, addictions or depression or these pockets that we feel like we can't get out of, it's such a pathway. There's a given pathway when we can utilize a tool that gives us a level of emotional freedom so that we can move through it and past it rather than getting stuck in it. And getting stuck in it simply suppresses everything that we're going through, and we're looking for other outlets to put our feelings and our emotions, which is why there are addiction issues. And her journey in life has been healing through that. So I admire and I respect that very much. And I appreciate the work that she's done in her books and the questions and the session that we had with her the other day was really enlightening. And I appreciated the questions that Amir was asking because they were really beautiful and deep, and allowed for her to even go deeper with herself in sharing. So thank you for that, Amir. I what I loved about Gabby was her recognizing that the reason her books and words resonate is because they come from a place of truth. And when we speak words of truth, there isn't any room for anything else to exist in that space because there's only truth. So when we can operate from that level, it gives another person the gift of being able to connect with us on that level. So her greatest accomplishment is undoing the trauma. And when we are fully honest with ourselves in our life is about undoing our trauma when we're actively and consciously working and doing the work. Now, doing the work can take different forms at different aspects of our lives. And it is about the commitment to ourselves and giving ourselves the permission to surrender to doing the work on our journey in this lifetime. Now, when we have unresolved trauma, and what she says is, it's a disruption to our nervous system. And yes, that's absolutely true. What happens is, like I said earlier, the emotion gets stuck and it needs to find a pathway out. And when we're not actively healing the trauma, we're projecting it. Carl Jung, who is one of my favorite theorists, said, we project our wounds until they're healed. So we will continue to project until we consciously do the evolutionary work around it. And sometimes at all times, the first step in doing any work is the awareness and the acknowledgement of it. And when we can acknowledge what it is that we need, we may not know what we need, but we can acknowledge what is happening inside of us, that there's a discord, that there's something deep within that is unresolved, and we may not know how to get to it, but we need a way to find it. So just acknowledging that this is happening is the very first step. Her first step was acknowledging the anxiety. And acknowledgement is simply acknowledging whatever the emotion is for you that allows the surrender to occur. And I appreciate that so much, because when we can identify it, then we can begin to heal it. Then we have the pathway, the journey of what it is that we need and finding the tools. And you're in the right place, because Guidely has all of these amazing tools that we are able to tap into within this platform. Now, her 4 tools and her 4 steps, which she utilizes in her book, Happy Days. The first one being acknowledgement, acknowledging the anxiety. The second one is the VU chant. And was everyone here for the session with Gabby? Pretty much, yes. Beautiful. I see a familiar couple names there that are dark. So what I'd like to do is just revisit the tools. I will then also offer another tool or 2 that we can utilize in place. Like, for example, we may not be in a position to do the VU chant, but there's another exercise that we can quietly do. So I'll share that as well. But let's go ahead and do the VU chant, which what it does is it stimulates the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is what it dictates the emotional response that comes from our solar plexus, and it rushes into our body. So when we have a means to regulate it, then that helps alleviate any stress or anxiety that we may be experiencing. So the Vu chant is breathing in, pausing, and then on the exhale, saying Vu. But what we'll do is we'll hold it out just the way that Gabby taught us, holding it out on the exhale until there's no more air, right? So as we breathe in, our abdomen expands. We want to make sure our chest does not, because when we expand our chest, we're not actually getting air. The air fills in our abdomen. So when we breathe in, the abdomen expands, the chest should not rise, not very much at least. So let's go ahead and breathe in, taking a breath in, pausing, and then exhaling on Vu. Vu. And as you exhale, your abdomen should go back to normal. So breathing in again, breathing in, pause, and exhale, Vu. Vu. Good. Now taking a deeper breath in, breathing in, pausing, and with everything inside of you, a strong Vu, and let everything out. Vu. And then on that inhale, just coming to presence. Considering how you feel inside. And so I should have asked prior to doing the breath, but on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you now? And where were you, do you think, before we started? And just jot that number down. Beautiful. And if you can just type in the chat box what your numbers were. Let me grab my chat box. There we go. Oh, good. 5 to 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. Same with Joanne. That's amazing. Gaia and Joanne are linked up right now. So we're measuring what we were feeling prior to starting. So if there was any energy in your body that may have been stagnant, maybe you were feeling a level of anxiety, whatever the emotion was, just acknowledging the emotion and then doing the Vu chant to release that emotion, the heightened level of it. Amir, 7 to 2. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, beautiful. So another aspect of activating the vagus nerve is called a vagus massage. And there are several points on our body that we can utilize to massage, but two of the points would be the ear. And right here, right at the top of the ear, there's this little bellowy, hollow aspect in your ear. And if we massage that space right there at the top of the ear, it's a little hollow, so it's perfect for your finger. Gently, not too much pressure. If we massage that for a moment and just giving yourself some space and breath, to gently massage it. You may find that you can even take a deeper breath. Your emotion begins to regulate a little bit more. Your heart rate settles down. Good. And now you want to do the other ear. So with your other finger, finding that point in your ear and just gently massaging it. And you can do this in the car. You can do this anywhere that you just need a moment to recalibrate. Good. And then the other part of the ear is the lower part inside the ear, but not all the way in. It's just where the little lip is of your ear. It's that lower aspect inside, feels hollow, just like the top, kind of a lip. You can just let your finger rest there, right? That aspect right there is also an area to massage gently and lightly, not too much pressure. And what that's doing is that is alleviating the fight or flight response, the amygdala, right? So it's calming our central nervous system, it's recalibrating our energy, and it's giving us the ability to self-regulate during times that we may need to, we have heightened emotion. So that's another aspect of um, treating the vagus nerve, just like the Vu chant or an Om chant. Now, when we work with Om or Vu, the reason why it's so powerful is because, oh, good, I'm so glad Chandel's feeling a little calmer. The reason it's so powerful is because every word, every syllable has a vibration. And when we're working with vibration consciously, it holds a frequency to it. Om is the highest universal frequency, energetic frequency. It's actually considered the music of the universe. And it's also aligned and linked with sacred geometry. So when we work with Om, that is the highest level of consciousness that we're tapping into when we work with it. So by doing the Vu chant, you can also do the Om in place of Vu, and as well as working with the vagus massage. Now, when we attune our words to a vibration that we are trying to call in, our frequency begins to rise. And when our frequency rises, it doesn't allow, just like when we speak from a place of truth, it doesn't allow anything beyond that or beneath it to enter. So when we operate from a certain frequency and we're chanting Vu and we're chanting Om, we're elevating our energetic space, our energetic level. When we speak specific words, we're omitting a vibration, not only internally, but externally to the surroundings of the people that are in our audience or in our room, if you will. So it's really important to be mindful of what we're saying to ourselves. And you can tell by the vibration that it holds by how it makes you feel. And when we speak a lower vibration to ourselves, and self with a capital S, the way that we feel begins to feel more depleted. And so it's important for us to have a mantra in place so that we can go back to something sound within us, like I am continually supported energetically by the universe and everyone around me. That could be a mantra. I do have a mantra. It's quite long, and I won't go into it because that would take us, I would need my paper. But it's important to have a mantra. So I invite you to take a moment right now on your piece of paper to, first of all, identify what is the emotion that you're needing to heal. What is something inside of you that you feel that needs attention? Before we go deeper into what that emotion may entail, what is that feeling that you have inside of you that may need some attention? Could it be sadness? Could it be fear? Could it be anxiety? Could it be anger? Shame? And I ask you to write it down before putting it in the chat, and you're welcome to add it to the chat. The reason I ask you to write it down is there is a heart to hand connection. When we write, it's much different than just thinking it. We first need to, if we're not writing, we think, and then we move on. But when we write, we're giving it a pathway to process. So you may experience when you wrote it down, something inside of you shifted or lightened, Steve, stress and anxiety. And I hope that you wrote that down on a piece of paper if you're able. So when you write it down, did anyone feel a sense of relief by just simply writing it and acknowledging it? Great. The feeling of not being good enough. Yeah. The imposter syndrome. I understand that. I go through that every day. So now what I'd like to do is let's create a mantra around that. So in place of it, I want you to say something along the lines of, every day in every way, I feel. And what's the word you want to feel? How do you want to feel? Every day in every way, I feel as I'm continually supported by my peers, loved ones, and the universe. And so after you write that mantra down, I'd love for someone to go ahead and put it in the chat. Yes, and if you need help with this, you can unmute and I can help you. Every day in every way, I feel blank as I'm continually supported by my loved ones, my peers, and the universe. And that's just a simple mantra that you can utilize. It's also considered an incantation. The feeling of not being good enough, being a failure. Okay. So a mantra in place of that, Sylvie, would be something along the lines of, let me ask you, what do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? Are you able to articulate it? Confident. Perfect. Perfect. So every day in every way, I feel confident within myself as I'm continually supported by my loved ones, my peers, and the universe. So I'd like you to rewrite that. Chandel, every day, in every way, I feel happy as I'm continually supported by my loved ones, peers, and the universe. Joanne, I feel calm and confident in my connection to all that is. Beautiful. You can implement your own words, your own mantra. Perfect. So Sylvie, I'd like you to rewrite that with the word confidence in there, please. Steve, you feel healed, less pain, peace with myself, which I already feel I'm finding. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is a mantra that is just quickly accessible. I want you to tape it up on your mirror, tape it on a wall, leave it on the counter. It's just something that you can go to that it'll allow you to reroute your thought process. Because when we match and raise the vibrational frequency within us, we're now calling in the things that we need and want. Our mind, the cognitive mind, and I've shared this in other talks, it is not the real self. The mind is not the true self. The spirit is actually the true self. So when we operate from our mind, we're not actually operating from truth. We have to have a driving force under that. So the spirit is the driving force, which actually you can access in the unconscious mind. We just have to get our mind out of the way so that the unconscious mind can move through it. So when we utilize a mantra, we're actually rerouting our unconscious mind. And then the unconscious begins to act in accordance with that new mantra because it has a new pathway. It has a new place to go rather than the inner dialogue that's always on repeat 24 hours a day. I know you know what I'm talking about because I have it myself. Oh no, I'm not good enough. I'm not where I need to be. I should be this. I should have that. I should be so much further along. I'm a failure. All of those are negative vibrations that we continue to emit in our self-dialogue. So it's really important as we notice and become present with self that we have that mantra that we can reroute. Now, the next thing that she shared was the EFT tapping. And with the tapping, it is such a powerful avenue of healing. Tapping is the emotional freedom technique. And it has 9 points to it, starting with the hand. And we'll go through all these 9 points. It begins to trick, if you will. It begins to redirect our thoughts so that we can have a new access point again. So all of these tools are new access points. So let's just go through the tapping techniques that Gabby took us through. And with that, we're going to have a statement, a setup statement. And that setup statement, we're going to repeat 3 times. The first thing we're going to do is just go through the points again, the pressure points. So the first one will be the side of the hand, that meaty part right here. I like to tap with 2 or 3 fingers. Just gives a little stronger vibration for me and preference, but you can tap with 1 or 2. The next one is above the eyebrow. I like to do both hands so that I'm really getting the left and right brain. The third, I'm sorry, is on the side of the eyes. And if you have glasses, you can just kind of go right underneath it. And then under the eye. And then under the nose. And then under the bottom lip and the crease of your chin. Yes. Good. And then your collarbone. I like to use all 10 fingers or all 8 fingers, if you will. So right at the collarbone. Good. And now under the arm, a little under, yep, right there, right under the, right near the, where your tank top would hit or your bra strap. Good. And then at the top of the head, use both hands, all your fingers if you can. Good. Great. So what I'd like you to do is just assess yourself right now. Where are you at emotionally from a scale of 0 to 10 before we actually start our setup statement? Hmm. Perfect. A 4. We're getting better. Oh, I love it. Chandela 7. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Gaia 6, 7. Okay. Perfect. So what we're going to do is a setup statement, and we're going to say this out loud. And it's important when you repeat after me, you're going to repeat after me these statements. It's important to repeat them out loud. One, because you hear your voice, it's emitting a frequency. It's giving yourself the ability to surrender while opening up these new pathways of healing. So the setup statement is, even though I have this issue, and I want you to name it, whether it's anxiety, fear, sadness, anger, even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Okay, we're going to say this 3 times. Even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Just allowing yourself to be with the feeling. And we're going to do this process of tapping 3 times. It is very powerful when we speak out loud and do this work, not only alone, but together. Because as we're doing this work together, we've created a sacred space with each other. And when we create a sacred space with each other, healing occurs on an even deeper level, beyond what we're actually comprehending in that moment. Yes, even though I have anxiety, I love and accept myself. Very good. Very good. Okay, here we go. So tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I have this feeling, I love and accept myself. And it's safe to let this go. To the top of the brow. I'm open to releasing this issue. To the side. I'm finding more peace in my body. Under the eye. I'm letting this issue go now. Under the nose. I'm stronger and grounded. chin, and I feel safe in my body. Collarbone, right here, right now. Under the arm, right now. On top of the head, I am safe and grounded in my body right now. Good. Back to the side of the hand. It's safe to let this go. Above the eyebrow, I'm open to releasing everything attached to this issue. Side of the eye, I'm finding more peace now. Under the eye, as I let go. Under the nose, I'm continuing to let go. Under the lip, in every cell of my body. Collarbone, right here, right now. Under the arm, I'm exactly where I need to be. On top of the head, I am safe and I am grounded. Last time, side of the hand, I am safer and grounded in this moment. Above the eyebrow, I continue to support myself and love myself. Side of the eye, on my healing journey. Under the eye, right here, right now. Under the nose, I let this issue go even deeper. I let go. Under the lip, in every cell of my body. Collarbone, right here, right now. I'm feeling lighter. I can breathe deeper. I can think more clearly. Top of the head, breathing in. I am centered. I am grounded. And I support my healing journey. And breathe. Checking in, just allowing yourself to just feel that. Good. Your breath is a little deeper now. Mm. Mhm. So if you'd like to type in the chat what your number is right now. Two, three. Oh, Steve, wonderful. Joanne, two, that's amazing. Gaia, two. You were a 7 before, right? Chandel, you felt yourself going deep. Yes, we want you present. Oh, good. Sylvie, two. Amir, two. Beautiful. I was probably feeling a 7. I'm probably at a 2 as well. It feels really good. Yes. Success. You were getting a headache and now it's gone. I'm so glad that you said this because this is important. I'm so happy it's gone. When we tap, it also helps to alleviate pain in the body. So when we have chronic pain, when we're suffering from headaches, when you have a stiff neck, if you have knee issues, whatever the pain is, maybe stiff joints, tapping helps to alleviate it because it's rerouting, it's suppressing the fight or flight, the cortisol that's being released into our body, and it is allowing everything to recalibrate. So that's really important. I'm so happy to hear this. Now, the fourth tool that Gabby shared with us was working with children, doing a mantra and a mudra, right? And a mantra are words that you speak to yourself and you wrote a mantra down, right? And a mudra is when you actually work with your hands. Combining the two together gives another pathway for the brain to opt out of the cognitive mind and bridge the spirit. It brings forward the psyche, if you will. The psyche is actually the conscious mind and the unconscious mind merging. It's where the mind and the spirit meet. So it's really important when we're utilizing mantras and mudras, we're giving access to both aspects of who we are. So it's another pathway for us. So you created your mantra. I'd like you to take that mantra and create it in 4 words. So I feel peace now. I feel confident now. Happiness finds me now. So do we have our 4 words? I'll give you about 30 seconds. I'm joined by my 2 dogs that are sitting quietly next to me, sound asleep. So the tapping and the chants have really gotten to them. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, oh good, I feel my happiness, beautiful. Releasing finds me now, excellent. So what I'd like you to do, and we're going to do this independently because I want you to speak your mantra. Okay, so the first word, thumb to pointer. Second word, thumb to middle finger. Third word, thumb to ring finger. Fourth word, thumb to pinky. And I'll just call out the finger and you speak the word, okay? And you can do both hands. I like that, Joanne. Thank you. Thank you for signaling me. Beautiful. So thumb to pointer finger. Thumb to middle finger. Ring finger. Pinky. Again, thumb to pointer. Thumb to middle. Thumb to ring. Pinky. Again, fluid. Pointer, middle, ring, pinky. Good. Shake it out. Yes. When we shake, we release energy. Yes. Shake it out. Beautiful. Okay. So we have about 10 minutes left, and I want to share my daily check-in with you. And then we can open it up with anyone that might want to share or dig a little bit deeper. But my daily check-in I created to set a reminder for myself, to one, to remember to breathe, to two, to check in with myself, and three, to see how I'm feeling. Oftentimes we go through our day without checking in, without assessing, without self-reflecting. And then it's so much easier when we don't check in with ourselves that we get triggered, that we can fly off and snap and react or project. So I call this the daily check-in, and it allows for a moment of pause, a moment of breath, and a moment of reflection. So what I'd like you to do is, this is what I do daily. And when I need to make more of an effort to see where I'm at, I set an alarm 3 times a day. And that alarm is simply designated to check in, to breathe, and to ask myself how I'm feeling. And I keep a notebook or a journal or a sticky notes nearby in my purse or wherever, my car, so that I can jot it down. Because remember, there's a heart to hand connection when we write. So the first thing is pausing, and that is the alarm going off, or a little soft music that you might set for yourself, okay? So that pause, and then you're going to take 3 deep breaths in. So let's breathe in deeply. And exhale with both feet on the ground, breathing in. Exhale. Last time, breathing in. And exhale everything out. Now here, in this quiet space, ask yourself, how am I feeling? And answer that question in your mind. Did anything happen today that caused me to feel a certain way? And if so, just identify it. Where in my body am I feeling it? Good. And now allowing another final breath in, breathing in and release. And so I'd like you to take a moment to jot what came to you down. How are you feeling? Did anything happen? Where in your body do you feel it? And so just take 30 seconds. It can be one word. And what this does is it brings us into presence. Breath is the direct connection to life and the direct connection to presence. So when we consciously breathe, we don't have to think about breathing. We breathe automatically. Our body knows what to do. But oftentimes we're not breathing to get actual air. We're just surviving. So it's important to consciously breathe so that we get air. We connect with ourselves. And we honor that aspect of what we're feeling and give voice to it. And as we write it, we're energetically allowing healing to occur. So that's my simple 3-step: pause, breathe, and check in. It's very easy. And I invite you to set an alarm 3 times a day. Now, is there anyone that would like to share anything that came up with them for them during the session, maybe even Gabby's session, and we can work through anything if there is any difficulty that you're having identifying what you're feeling? Yes, true connection with ourselves. Exactly. Thank you, Steve.
If anybody wants to ask a question, they can just raise their hand and I'll help unmute them.
Thank you. I forgot that part.
I'm going to join you here.
Please.
This is so amazing, my dear.
Oh,
I want to hug you, and
I miss you.
I miss you too. This is so wonderful.
Thank you.
Really awesome, and great tools and great way to integrate, what she had talked about, and we learn with, broadening and deepening those.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what was important. Everything that she shared was really important.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how she's utilized these aspects or these tools for her own healing journey.
Right.
And all we need is one.
Right. It's those little things we can hang on when we are on that verge. So.
That's right. It's the little nugget that if we can, even just a 4-word mantra, or if we can just tap, it gives us a little, it releases the anxiety.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to our body.
Yeah, exactly.
There is in Hebrew, you talked about breath, bringing breath back. So in Hebrew, there is the word for soul is neshama.
Oh.
And if you add breath to it, if you add God, so there is one letter in Hebrew that symbolizes God, Yud. And if you add God to breath, it becomes breath. So, if you add God to soul, it becomes breath.
Oh.
So it's really the idea of bringing God to our soul, that, through breath.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. So whatever God is for anybody here, it's through the breathing that we, incorporate that into our soul.
I feel that. I feel that deeply. I do want to say to anyone who's here, we have so many incredible guides with Guidely that if you don't find what you need with one, you will find it with another. There is a matching system that's incredible, tailored for you. And so I really encourage you to experience what the Guidely platform is and the community, which is really remarkable and incredible. I know every time I'm on there, I feel my energy just lift. And I want to go on to Guidely for that inspiration, which is so amazing. And I'm just so grateful to you, Amir, for creating this platform for all of us.
Thank you so much. And one of the things that I find is that many of our guides are friends and people that have become friends and family, and every time I rediscover how big their gift is and how fortunate we are to be surrounded by so much, wisdom and compassion. And I also know that, different phases in life, different moments, we need somebody else. We don't always need the same type of guide. And the idea to identify what is it that we're working on right now and what would be the most supportive and nourishing and opening tool and process is different from time to time.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And, Gabby actually mentioned something similar to that the other day regarding, learning new tools at different parts of her life. And it's very similar to, I attribute it to, somebody could be telling me something and it's just not registering. And then that one person says something and everything makes sense for me. So sometimes, we just need that opening. Maybe one guide sets us up for the other guide to do the opening. And that's what's so beautiful and really synchronistic about what you offer here. It's a very beautiful community.
Thank you so much. It's you guys, our people here, team guides, that make it so beautiful. We're just a space holder. So are there any other question? I want to be respectful for time, and I want to be, Chandel, do we have any messages or anything that we need to, obviously, if anybody wants to schedule a discovery session with Rebecca.
We've just had a lot of really great positive feedback in the comments without any questions. So
yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So people that want to work with Rebecca, I think there is another integration session on Monday, and being here today is great. I encourage you to come again Monday, because we will probably, one of the beautiful things about integration is that it's a process. It's not a one-time.
No.
It's another layer and going to be another different flavor. So I encourage everybody to join us Monday. I will be here.
So Amir, I'm actually going to share my screen because it's going to have the details for Monday. And then also we are giving away the Gabby tickets. So do you want to talk about that while I share my screen?
Yeah, so we bought tickets for Gabby live event in New York. It's on December 14. And anybody who participates in the integration session is welcome to submit the form. I think we have a link for the form, right? Somewhere.
So we have the QR code.
Oh, the QR code will get you to the form to submit the right part.
Yep.
So just with your camera, we're only buying the tickets. The tickets to the event, hotels, flights, whatever on you, but I highly recommend that. I've seen Gabby live several times. She is really impactful, and I'm sure it's going to be an incredible event that she's putting together on December 14 in New York. So it's our gift. Those are premium tickets. I think it's like 4th or 5th row, dead center. So you're welcome to participate. If you want to do a concierge session with Chandel, who is our resident guide, who is gifted as a guide, but also doing incredible matches between people and other guides, then you're welcome to do that. Just text HAPPY to 888-506-6432, and she will find you the right guide. And I think Gaia dropped in the chat also the link to book a discovery session with Rebecca. So highly recommend.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. We do have the tradition of unmuting and saying good night as we part ways and go about our business. I know I feel lighter, better, grounded, more grounded. Just to be in this presence after a very long and intense day here. So could not have asked for a better wrap for my day. So thank you.
Good night.
Bye.